All right, hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, we got some news, man. We got some news. Jonathan Kuminga is declining his $24 million. Well, the Hawks are declining his $24 million team option, making him a free agent. That's obvious. Anybody paying him $24 million to play basketball this upcoming season? Hell no, not even close. So yeah, that's a no-brainer. And Ja Morant has been traded to the Portland Trail Blazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. I do not know what those people's contracts look like. I really don't know, but I can tell you Ja Morant is going to be playing with Denny and Dame in Rip City. And of course, Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray, Keegan's brother, headed up there to play with Cam Boozer. I don't know what the Memphis Grizzlies are doing as it pertains to all these power forwards. You bring yourself Grant, you draft Boozer, you draft Lopez. What are we doing? Like, why do we have so many redundant players at that position? Size matters, but these guys don't have a lot of versatility. Jeremy Grant at this stage in his career, I would not want to play at the 3. He used to be able to do that when he was a little more limber. Now at this age, I want him at the 4. My only knock on Boozer is that he had no positional versatility. I don't want him playing the 5. I don't want him playing the 3. And Lopez is the exact same way. I don't want him playing the 5, and I don't want him playing the 3. I don't understand from a positional standpoint what they're trying to do there. I don't like where this is going for Memphis. It pertains to their versatility at the forward spot. They don't have any. But to make this deal, Chris Murray, I mean, from what I read, there was not much of a market for Ja. So if you could find somebody that take Ja, you just kind of take back what they give you. I didn't see any picks involved in this, which is something I'm with you on Portland. I'm not giving up any picks for Ja at this stage. What else? Chris Murray, nice role player. He's not really developing into nothing special, but I'm pretty sure he'll have opportunities in Memphis, stretch the floor. He's okay. So, I've never been a fan of Jeremy Grant's contract. I think Jeremy Grant is an okay player, starting level okay, meaning he's pretty good, But I don't think at this stage he excites me in any way. If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, probably try to flip him again. I think that's what I would be trying to do, is flip him once more. But as far as Ja going to Portland, I don't know what this means for Scoot Henderson. Obviously, Dame Lillard coming back from the Achilles. I don't know what their rotation look like. It's going to be some people who are unhappy with their roles. That's what I think. I think it's going to be some people who are unhappy with their roles, or Portland got to make some more deals. Because Scoot's going to forever be a backup if Ja's in place and Dame's in place. Those are your starters right there. Neither one of them can defend. So that's going to be interesting. But, of course, they got Klingon in the paint. And moving on from Jeremy Grant, so that's another defender out the door. I don't know if they have intentions of re-signing Thibault or not, but they can sure use what he does defensively a little more now. I got to look at Portland's roster, to be honest with you, to really get a better firm understanding. Obviously, you got Denny in place at the 4 or the 3. There's an all-star level player who's only getting better. I don't really know how good Denny is, if I'm being completely honest with you. At this point, I'm starting to wonder how good he actually is, because what he showed us last year was entirely different than what he had done previous seasons, man. And I don't know. It's starting to be a situation where you're like, okay, how good is this guy? And so that's where we're at with Denny. But, first of all, Ja got to find a way to get back on the floor, man. Ja got to find a way to get back on the floor, because he's been injured a lot lately, and I just don't know what he looks like right now as it pertains to being a basketball player. Obviously, he's still a young enough guy where it makes sense. He's only 26 years old, so he's still in his prime, but the off-the-court stuff is kind of taking a front seat to anything else. And you forget that he was most improved a couple years ago. You forget that he won Rookie of the Year. And the injuries, just ate away at his value, but he can still rekindle his career. But I don't know if he can necessarily do that in Portland when you got, again, Scoot, Dame himself, Denny with the ball in his hands a lot of time. I just don't know where what role he plays on this Portland team. They got this new owner that's infamous at this point for not wanting to pay. They got this coach in place who's been given a very unique situation where his contract is structured in such a way to where he's basically trying out. This is not the situation you want to put that coach in, having him trying to coach Ja Morant. I think this is bad. I think it's bad. I don't like the fit. But like, if you're Portland, maybe you can try to retrade Ja, but Ja's not worth much. That's the point. Ja's value is in the toilet, so you gotta play him up in order to be able to move him, or you're gonna have the same trouble that Memphis had. Morant has 2 years, $87 million left on his maximum rookie extension. That's a horrible contract. That is horrible. 43 a year for this kid. Wow. Grant has 1 more year left on his deal at $36 million. Player option. And Murray's set to hit free agency next summer. So, damn. Portland gave away 2 better contracts in a way. Grant is expiring. That's coming off the books. Murray, young player, expiring, probably going to be re-signed by Memphis. I can see them giving him some type of extension. But now you're bringing in a player in Ja that needs playing time. Not particularly great with the ball out, not having the ball in his hands. He's not a good shooter. He needs the ball in his hands. Then he needs the ball in his hands. Dame is going to have the ball in his hands. Oh, man, I'm not so sure about this. Portland, especially if you sign on for $43 million a year for 2 years with this kid. I do not like this for you at all. I don't like it. I don't know what's going to happen with Robert Williams. Is he going to be re-signed? Hopefully not, because we can sure use him here in L.A. City Sissoko kind of made some steps in the right direction. Tamani Kamara's defense is much more important now, but so is his shooting. Like his shots. Drew Holiday, what you doing with Drew Holiday? 36 years old. What role does he have now on this team? Dame Lillard, Ja Morant. I think this is a situation where smart money tells me Portland now needs to make other moves. You brought Ja to you. Okay. Now you have to try to diversify some of these guards that need bigger roles. Send them to situations and bring back some players that fit a bit more that make a lot more sense for your roster. Because you can't have Scoot, Drew Holiday, Dame Lillard, and Ja Morant on the same damn team. Those are all starters, man. Scoot has proven last year that he's ready to take a step forward. You brought him in even more of a difficult logjam from which to try to fight his way through. At least last year, Dame was out. Now Dame's back. Yeah, it's nothing but chaos in this roster. Shaedon Sharpe is a 3, I guess. But I think I like him a little better at the 2. Blake Wesley, 23-year-old guard. Does he come back? I think he's a free agent. I don't remember if he is or not. I think his name's on a free agency list. You got Caleb Love, who broke out last year. Does he get any minutes this year? How does he play? Victor Krejci is listed as a guard. I love if he can get away with playing him as a small forward. Jeremy Grant's long gone. So they haven't updated the rosters here on ESPN as of yet, but this roster is absolute chaos. Portland's roster is chaotic, and their coaching situation is chaotic. I don't know. I really don't know what to say other than I don't see an opportunity for all these people. I really don't see an opportunity. They have to make trades to create the opportunity for the players that they have, man. That's really what it comes down to. It's time to move Drew Holiday. It's time to move Scoot Henderson, or it's time to move Dame Lillard, or retrade Ja Morant. And I don't think you're going to move Dame Lillard, and I don't think you can trade Ja Morant. So I'm definitely moving Drew Holiday. Maybe I ask Scoot to be a third guard in that rotation. That might not be the worst thing, but Drew, no. At this point, I'm moving Drew Holiday for certain. He's on a $32 million contract. He got to go. It's chaos, man. This chaos. I'm curious to see what others think. I just believe that now Portland then shifts their intentions toward making another move. Because if they start the season with this kind of reminds me of what the Knicks did many years ago when they put all types of starting point guards on the roster when Isaiah Thomas was running things and he wanted to bring himself like 4 starting point guards. Didn't have good talent in other positions. He had Steve Francis. And there was all type of crazy stuff going on there. This kind of reminds me of that right now. And in the Western Conference, you don't want to be in that situation. Do they have a lot of talent? Of course, yeah. You got a lot of good names on here. Does it make sense? Hell no. You're asking some guys who definitely shouldn't be asked to play lesser roles to do so. And I'm going to tell you the truth. If they don't make a trade, I'm not sure Ja Morant is a starting point guard in this team. I'm not sure I start him over Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson, and Dame Lillard or one of those. I don't think so. I don't think so. Caleb Love, as well as he's been playing, I don't know that Ja's starting, even though he's making $40-something million. He might be coming off the bench in this unit. So I know that sounds crazy to people, and I don't think they'll start the season that way, but it wouldn't be surprising me if they don't make a trade by February. They got a different rotation, and Josh is kind of on the outs. Like, this is the worst situation for the coach that they have, man. I can't stress this enough. You got a coach in here who's essentially on for a year, and his performance is going to determine whether or not they keep him for the second year. I've never seen a situation like that. It creates an environment where players don't necessarily respect the coach because they expect he's going to be gone. They feel like they have leverage over the coach in a lot of cases because they know if the coach don't make this work, that coach is out. So it's like you putting a Ja Morant in that situation with his immaturity issues and struggles. That's who you got this coach trying to guard, trying to coach. I don't know, man. I don't know. Portland has to make other moves. That's it. Portland has to make other moves. Expect for them to make other moves. Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson, Dame Lillard. Somebody gone. Somebody got to go. Caleb Love. Somebody got to go. I don't know which one of these guards got to go, but they got entirely too many guards on this roster. They could use a 4 now. They could use a 4 and maybe a 3. Tamani Kamara and Denny Avia are definitely good 3s and 4s, though. Denny at the 4, Tamani at the 3. So you got that settled. Obviously, it's Klingon at the 5. You got that settled. But your guard rotation now just has too many chiefs and not enough subordinates, so to speak. And then Shaedon Sharpe, what's up with him? Like, what role does he have if Tamani and Denny are starting at the forwards? Shaedon Sharpe going to play the starting 2, right? So you got, like, Drew Holiday, Dame Lillard, and or Ja Morant coming off the bench together. Like, it's just madness. It's absolute madness. This roster does not make any sense at all. Them taking on Ja Morant is foolish, in my opinion. They should definitely not been interested in Ja Morant. Them being interested in Jaylen Brown, I could see it, especially if they move on from the right pieces. They definitely could have made sense. Them being interested in point guard Ja Morant, non-shooting Ja Morant with the gangster Ja Morant is absolutely and utterly stupid. You are the Jailblazers. Why are you bringing yourselves Ja Morant? So that's pretty much what I got to say. I don't. That owner over there in Portland, y'all got to be careful who y'all let in the owner's room. I keep telling them this. Sometimes you bring the wrong people into the owner's room and they don't know what the hell they're doing, or they got these weird ideologies of what it is they want to do on a basketball floor and with their team. You see it with Phoenix. It's starting to work out with Phoenix. Even though they're still doing wacky stuff, they are a respectable roster for the most part. They have respectable assets. But this Portland dude coming in saying, I ain't going to pay this, I'm not going to pay that, I'm lowballing this person, lowballing that person, I'm doing all this. You should have never let him in the room. And this trade is indicative of him being weird. Straight up. This trade should have never been made, man. I'm just going to be honest with you. This trade should have never been made. You were moving expiring contracts for a guy who needs the ball in his hands, who has issues, lots of issues. Lots of issues does Ja Morant have. And you bring him to a situation where the last thing you needed on this roster was a guard. The last thing you needed was guard depth. This is a nightmare. I'm not even sure Ja Morant has fantasy value. And I put him only on one team in my fantasy situation. I've been drafting teams early. I got him on one team. I'm probably going to try to shop that boy now. I don't see where the role is. I don't see where it's coming from. I don't know where the role is coming from, man. But if I'm Drew Holiday's agent, please send me somewhere, man. Please send me to random team Miami. Send me to Houston. Send me to somewhere that needs the continuity, man. Somebody that needs the point guard that I am. Even though I'm 36 years old, I'm still extremely capable. I should not be pushed down the roster behind John Morant and these other guys, man. There's no way. No way if I'm Drew Holiday, I want to stay in this situation. No way. Move me now. So that's pretty much what I got to say. This is a strange trade, man. I don't really understand it. From a Memphis perspective, expiring contracts, when you're a rebuilding club, ball club is cool. Getting John Morant off your books, anybody that take John Morant is a good thing for you and what it is you're trying to accomplish. But for Portland, this is bizarre, man. I don't know what the hell they're doing. It don't make any sense from a roster standpoint. I don't know if they can make the trades necessary to make it make any damn sense either. And Portland has a good thing going with Klingon and Denny and Tamani Kamara. These are nice up-and-coming players. John Morant, it's the wrong ingredient. It's the wrong ingredient, man. And that coaching situation, that whole way they hired this coach was absolutely the wrong way to go about that. Absolutely the wrong way to go about that. BDO 44, I thank y'all for watching.